Hey guys, I suck but I stream here. Sorry it's been so long, but I got some exciting things to do today. So I've been saying for a couple years that I need a new PC. And I've been wanting to just build one if I could. So I live in Canada. I got a really nice tax return, so I just went around, sorry guys, to all the stores I could find. And just sourced out all the parts I would need. Now, it cost a little more than it would have going to Amazon, and I didn't get as good of parts besides the graphics card. I actually got a bit better one than I was looking at. But yeah, that's what you get for going to local shops. Sometimes you'll get a great deal, sometimes they just won't have very much, and you're stuck getting what you can. And the reason I didn't go to Amazon was I was wanting to build it as soon as possible, and living off-grid on an island, even if I choose like 2-day shipping, it'll take at least a week to get here. So it was just faster and easier to go around to local shops and, support them. So I'm gonna first go over all of my pieces that I got, all the components, and then I'm going to strap the GoPro to my head, and this is being filmed on a GoPro Hero 7, by the way. Another sweet thing I picked up. And I guess, yeah, you're gonna get a first-person view of building a computer. So this could be interesting. Hopefully I don't completely screw my system up. Now, I don't have an anti-static bracelet, so I'll just be touching this metal cabinet right beside me to ground myself. It's the best I can do at the moment. None of the shops had a bracelet that I could buy. So just make sure you have a good ground so the current isn't going to pass through you at all if you're messing with capacitors or anything. So we'll start going through the parts. First off, I got the Corsair CX650M. That's a 650 watt modular power supply. So that should be more than enough power, and even if I upgrade, it'll still be relevant for a while and through a few upgrades. Then for my storage, I went for a 250 Samsung 970 EVO Plus M.2 NVMe SSD. So that'll speed up processing and just storage times a hell of a lot. And then I went for a 1 terabyte Barracuda hard drive for my game library. For the motherboard, I went for the MSI B450 Tomahawk Max. I don't know, I've always liked AMD even when they were in their dark ages. So this one, the MSI version, will support 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gen Ryzen cards, or processors, which is a huge thing. For my RAM, I just got 8 gigs of Kingston DDR4 2666. I can upgrade that in the future. I will need to do that definitely. I just couldn't afford to at the time I was purchasing it. For the processor, I have a Ryzen 3 3200G with Vega 3 graphics. This was the only AMD processor I was able to find. Best Buy didn't have any. Little shop I went to only had Intel, and they weren't even X or K card or processors, so I couldn't overclock them. So I just waited and went to another store, and they had the AMD, so I went for that. Then for the graphics card, I went for the MSI Gaming X GeForce GTX 1660 Ti. I was looking at the AMD RX 580, so this is a bit of an upgrade. And for my CPU cooling, I got the Corsair H60 all-in-one, so it's a closed system or closed loop liquid cooler with a fan radiator. So that should help me overclock even a little bit more. Then I got Arctic MX4 thermal compound. That'll just add even more thermal capacity for overclocking. And then lastly, I got the Samsung 27-inch curved monitor. It's full HD 1080p and 60 hertz, but I believe since it's a new monitor, I should be able to overclock that as well and probably go 75 hertz. So, oh, there's a couple more. It's taken apart because I just did a couple things to make setup easier. Like I put all the standoff screws in and switched the fan to the front so I could mount my radiator in the rear fan slot. But I got the Cooler Master Masterbox E500L case. I do have the front off, but that was one of the turning points for me, was the nice blue trim on it, and also the front cover slides down for your I/O, and also if I want to have a disk drive in there, I can. A lot of gaming cases these days don't have that option. And also it has an acrylic side panel, so if I have any lighting inside, which I do on at least my graphics card, it will show through, so that should be awesome. And for internet, since this motherboard only has LAN, and of course I'm off grid, so I only have Wi-Fi, I just got the Linksys AC1200 USB Wi-Fi stick. And since I'm running off generator, I got the battery backup, 469 minutes of runtime, 950 volts, 510 watts. Again, I won't be running my PC anywhere near the 650 watts that it's rated for, so that should be good indefinitely. So if the generator runs out, I won't have to worry about it. I'll have time to shut down my computer, then run out and figure out why it's turned off. So that's all the parts I've got. So I guess let's get to building. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is take my motherboard out. So then I'm gonna close up the box, and making sure to pick up the motherboard by metal parts, not any of the circuitry components on the back of it. I'm gonna take it out of the anti-static bag and just throw it on the box it came in, and that will act as an anti-static surface. Side. So first up is mounting the CPU. I'm going to undo that clip. I believe it's just one. Yep. I'm actually going to see what thermal compound this comes with, because the AMD coolers usually do come with some, I believe, although I'm not sure about second generation. Looks like possibly no, it doesn't. So I'm glad I picked some up. And this cooler I won't be using because I have the all-in-one liquid cooler. Stickers I can throw on my PC as well. It's Radeon Vega graphics and Ryzen 3. So then I'm gonna take this out, putting it down on the table so it doesn't go flying. Flip it over so I can pick it up on this side so I don't touch the pins or the top of the CPU. Now there should be a triangle, but this one, it looks like there's a dot on the corner. And you just want to line that up with the golden triangle on the CPU. And you don't want to push it in, it should just fall in on its own. Push that in, so now when we try pulling it up, it's just stuck there. Perfect. You definitely want to make sure to wipe off your CPU, get any finger oils off of it, any dust or anything that may have gotten on while you transferred it. Excuse me. This is the AMD mounting bracket in here, or one of these is the AMD mounting bracket in here. Comes pre-installed with the Intel one. And so first, take off the Intel bracket and throw on the AMD bracket on the pump head. The part that actually sits on your CPU and cools it. Should just pull right off, I believe. Yeah. And then it goes aligned with the Corsair. Doesn't really show it that well which side is up. And it recommends mounting the fan as an intake, which means you'll want to face it backwards. There is an arrow on this side, so you can see which way the fan spins and which way the air is going. Alright, thermal compound. I was almost an idiot. And now, because this one only tightens in 2 directions, not 4, I think I'm gonna put a line right down the middle. Just a bit like that. That'll probably leak off the edge there, so I'll just go like that. And that should be good. Maybe a bit much, but we'll see if it leaks at all. Got some thermal compound on the hose here. Don't know if that's going to be corrosive to it at all, so I want to get it off. Just in case. want to make sure to be tightening it evenly. Just a little bit at a time. You don't want it to be over tight, just finger tight. You don't want to crank it at all. And I don't think I see any thermal compound leak. So I believe we are good. And I'll wait till it's in the case to do that. I believe my M.2 drive next. Let's see if I can find that instruction booklet I had. Sorry I'm so disorganized, guys. So I've got the CPU and cooler. I'll do the RAM, sure. Let's see, if we're using 1, use DIMM 2. That should be the second one up. That one will go to your power. But you want to typically do your graphics card last, because it's going to be in the way of everything, and you're going to have to take it off before you remount this in the case anyways. So there's your SSD drive. Looks a lot like a stick of RAM, but a bit smaller. It goes like that. Tiny screws, so excuse my large fingers. There we go. And again, not too tight. RAM, cooler, CPU, SATA, hard drive. So next, yes, I believe will be our graphics card. Ain't that thing a beaut? I love it. Alright guys, I don't know where it cut off, but I've got everything connected now. I got the GPU set up, I got the power plugged in, and I believe plugged into everything. We'll see. Hopefully. Got the SSD plugged in here, my hard drive plugged in there. I'm just gonna turn the monitor on, and then let's jump it. This JFP1, those two. Alright, so the motherboard booted up. I'm just waiting to see if it's gonna post. Turns out I forgot to turn the power supply on, because I'm an idiot. But you can see all those RGB effects there, looking awesome. And I think there actually is some possibly on the motherboard as well. Cool. And that AIU. Awesome, it posts. So I can shut it off, and yeah, Ryzen 3 3200G, DRAM 2666, 8 gigabytes. Yeah, none of those. SATA port 4, yes. Don't see the M.2 on here, but it might. It'll probably show up in the BIOS. But that's awesome. I got everything fired up, so I'm gonna throw that into the case, and I'll have another update with you guys shortly. Alright, so it's finished. It's running, and I saved the best part for you guys, the peel on the acrylic. So let's see if we can get this all in one piece. Oh yeah, that's a good peel. I'll have to mess with the LED settings, but that's not looking too bad. I like. And it's a hell of a lot faster so far, but I'm gonna download Steam and get some games going, and we'll see just how much better it can run them than my old Asus laptop. So I'll see you guys in a couple secs. So there we are, 10 with a score of 1422. I'm happy with my build. It's running properly, the thermals are good, and I can't wait to start overclocking and then start working with some Blender renders. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.